Hey Jeff, can you hear me? Oh, you're
There.
muted.
You-
Yes.
Can you hear me now? Okay.
Yep. So I'm good. I'm not breaking up or anything.
No, you're loud and clear.
Okay. It usually works that way at home.
Yeah. Yeah, it's technology. Let's see. Don't want that one. Get my. Hey, Al.
Hey,
Hi guys, how you doing?
Long
very
time no
good.
see.
Want to make sure that you all saw that I was a man of my word and I was actually going to be here tonight.
Well,
Yep.
very good. Thank you.
Did you find out if you'd ever gotten the original invite?
I didn't see it. I had a lot of emails and I didn't see one that was a Zoom invite. So I mean, it
No
might
big
have
deal.
gone in
I'll
there,
get
but
you on the list now.
I noticed that apparently I'm you on this, so I'm sure
You
people will
are
figure
me.
it
How
out.
that work? I don't know. I realize there's two of me.
Yeah.
You're the
And I,
better looking of the two, but of us, but
Well,
I'll concede that.
I
Hey,
am not.
Inez.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. You met our new member, Inez?
How are you, sir? You're
I'm
definitely not
good. How are
me.
you?
I'm good. So what was it? You shared a link with, maybe that's the reason why it shows up as Jeffrey also?
Yeah, yeah. I think
Oh, that's
Jeff shared the link with me because
Yeah,
I was there. I didn't see one.
so it just means that IT probably still doesn't have his contact information. Well, let me ask you, did they ever get to you to set up a city?
it's me. It's me. I'm
Oh,
holding things up.
your phone. Oh, bad boy.
I'm sorry.
Um,
But you,
Sorry to interrupt. You can right click on your face and it'll give you the option to rename yourself.
Yep.
Not that it's a big deal, but just if you would rather it be your name.
get that
Got it.
out.
Yep, on it.
All right.
Thank you.
Let's see. Can I bring up Word?
Ah, there it is. That was easy. I just lost half of my identity right there. So what am I going to do?
Well, now I can't say half the things I was going to say.
My doppelganger has abandoned me.
well, as usual, we're waiting for people to log in.
Yeah. And as you're dark, can you shed some more light on yourself?
Let's see. I don't know.
All I can see is the reflection in your glasses.
Hmm. I'll figure something out. Let's see. I made my screen smaller so I could take notes at the same time. But
Yeah, well, I mean, we know you're there, so don't stress about it.
Checking with the outstanding members here.
Did you
Mr.
hear from
Dillard called me earlier. He may not be able to attend.
Okay.
hear from Keisha or James?
Looking at working with on James right now.
Yeah, James should be signing on.
Is Cameron out of town, Inez?
I
She
honestly
is.
don't know.
No.
I only communicated with Jeff and Mr. Dillard. I'm sorry, James and Mr. Dillard. And I haven't spoken to Lakeith.
Okay, sounds good.
They were all sent emails reminding them.
So
Yeah, I got mine.
James is logging in
There he is.
as we speak.
Okay. Mr.
There he
Watson,
is. All right.
Hey, James, your
you're muted,
audio's not
James.
in yet. It's connecting, though. I see it's connecting.
Now he's muted, but he's connected.
But he's in.
There you go.
Can you guys hear me?
There you go.
Loud and
Gotcha.
clear.
There we go. Sorry about that. I was trying to get the dogs walked and kids fed and the roosters taken care of, as well as milk the cows, all in under 7 minutes.
And here, James, I thought you'd be at the ACC tournament, so we're just happy to have you here.
That was a year ago today.
Well, they're playing tonight, right? I mean, you did realize that. You have that on your calendar, didn't you?
Oh wait, I didn't even know they were playing. Wait, who's playing? I'm
Yeah,
just
I'm not
messing
gonna
with you.
I'm not gonna bite on that. I'm
I'm just
sorry.
messing with you, but
I know you are, so I'm not gonna bite.
yeah.
All right,
James is a huge. He's a who Al. James is a UVA grad, so and he's a huge UVA sports fan. So we have to remind him of that.
I'm glad I didn't wear my Syracuse stuff.
That's right. You could start a major problem there.
Right.
I don't worry too much about the other orange, but
Well,
I'll tell you I don't know if you keep up with the Syracuse women's game or team, but they came down here and played a great game.
Yeah, they
Unfortunately,
did.
we lost, but they've got some talent. I had a cousin that had played for Syracuse about 25
Women,
years.
James?
Yeah, women. Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
They got a great women's team.
Yeah. I think they were lucky. When the last coach left, they picked up a quality coach, and they've really
Hey, how's it
made
going?
some strides in that
Keisha,
program.
this is Bill. Just wondering if you're going to be tuning in. All right. Thank you very much. Oh, thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
James, did you see the brawl on Sunday at LSU, South Carolina? He's muted.
No, I did not. Was that the women's game or the men's game?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Women's game.
They ejected six and kicked the center for LSU, or no, one
South
of the
Carolina.
teams, yeah, out for the first game of the tournament. So it was not pretty. Tempers were running very high.
So
Is Keisha coming, Bill?
yeah, her software is updating. So give her a couple more minutes.
Nope.
I actually had the same issue.
So is UVA still in the ACC tournament, the women?
That I don't know. The men play tonight, Boston College, who beat Clemson by 20 points yesterday. Hey,
There we
Keisha.
are. All right.
Hey, Keisha.
Good evening, Keisha.
How you doing?
So
So
I
friendly
guess
reminder,
you
Mr.
say
Chair, start time and ending time for purposes of my notes.
start time is 6:35. We can call a group to order, assuming Mr. Dillard is not going to be available tonight.
Probably not, that he did call.
Okie dokie. I have a couple of announcements. One announcement is that we have two new members. One of them, Mr. Pola, is online with us tonight, and the other, Cameron McBride, is on travel, and she'll be with us at our next meeting. And a little bit later, I'll have Mr. Pola introduce himself, and we can introduce ourselves to him, and start to get to know each other a little better. The first sort of business item we have is approval of the agenda. I hear there is an amendment somewhere.
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
I would like to amend the agenda to add a preliminary discussion of the Charlottesville Police Department traffic stop policy. I make that motion.
Is there a second?
James?
Second, had my mute on.
That's all right. Are there any objections to adding this to the agenda? Hearing no objections, I'll add it to the agenda. How about right at the end?
Okay, that'll work.
That'll work. Next issue is approval of the minutes from our January meeting. We did not have a meeting in February. Does anyone have any comments or corrections or amendments to the minutes?
Very thorough and well written. Thank you, Ms. Director.
Absolutely. That is a surprising pain in the ass. But anyway, is there any objection to approving the minutes as submitted? There does
No
not.
objection.
No objection. Hearing no objection, the minutes are approved unanimously. And now we can start to celebrate our new members here. Mr. Pola is one of the two members. Again, Cameron is the other. Some of you have seen Cameron. She attended some of our meetings and is very much looking forward to participating with us. Cameron and Mr. Pola make two new attorneys on a board. Oh my gosh, I don't know what we're going to do, but I guess we can manage. Mr. Pola, do you want to introduce yourself briefly?
Sure. Good evening, everybody. My name is Al Pola. I like going on first name basis, so feel free to call me Al. I am, in fact, I'm a retired attorney from New York, no longer practicing. I am also a retired high school teacher and also a retired New York State volunteer firefighter and EMT. So I had a lot of pans in the fire and quite happy to be retired. And I'm looking forward to working with all of you on this.
All right, thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Yep. And so Jeff and I had coffee with Mr. Pola this morning and got to know a little bit about him and introduce ourselves. Maybe we can go around the rest of the group here and have brief introductions. Inez?
Inez Gonzalez, Executive Director, PCOB. What else? Retired Newark Police Captain, and that's about it.
There's a lot there. We talked a lot about you this morning.
Were your ears burning this morning, Inez?
Yes, for a whole lot of reasons.
James?
You're muted, James.
All right, welcome to the board. I'm James Watson, a longtime. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yep.
I've got the Bellamy Brown edition on here with the headset. Oh,
now you're muted out.
I think I'm back again, right?
Yep.
So yeah, James Watson, a longtime Charlottesville resident. Love the community. Been on the board since 2020. So it's been a long, interesting road. It's been a great learning experience. I hope we've done some things, over time to improve, the ability for people to feel at least comfortable to articulate things that they've experienced in the community, ideas. It's definitely a unique volunteer experience to be on this board. And I feel like I've grown a lot, learned a lot, and look forward to you being on, and thanks for your service ahead of time.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'd like to say that James served as chair during one of the more turbulent years and behaved admirably and has has been kind of a rock on the board for ever since it was founded. So, all right. Lakeisha?
Hi, Al. Welcome to the board. My name is Lakeisha Washington, but I go by Keisha. I am a Charlottesville native, and I've been on the board for about a year now. So I'm excited to work with you.
Thank you.
You're muted,
you're
Bill.
muted, Bill.
In terms of new members, we still have both of our new appointees are members. And we still have an opening for a social justice representative. And I have been speaking with the Reverend Jones Turner, and she's been working on folks from her organization, from her church, basically, to apply for that position. I'm not sure if they have yet, but I'm very hopeful. And if they have applied and the city council agrees, then we'll have a full board with 7 voting members relatively soon, which would be well, not a first, but pretty close. Any other questions, comments about new members? Okay. As you are aware, we have been waiting for our standard operating procedures to be drafted and approved by the city attorney and the city manager. It has been 6 months since the chief of police cut off all access to information from police investigative files. We have been working with the city manager's office to finalize the SOP. Inez and I have submitted written comments on the draft document that was circulated in early March, which, in my opinion, goes a long way toward allowing the board the kind of access we need to do our job. There are some key points like information access in support of investigation monitoring that I think still need to be worked out. In the meantime, as I say, our actual oversight functions remain on hold. It's been quite a frustrating process that it has taken so long. Inez or anyone else, do you have any comments or additional updates?
No, I mean, both you and I have submitted our comments to the city manager, and as he stated to us, he will be reviewing them. I do have a meeting with him tomorrow. But again, like I said, this is an incredibly busy season for him, as well as most of us, because it's budget season, so it's just a bad time.
Yep. And the other issue under this topic is amendments to our ordinance. And of course, essentially, as Al and Jeff and I discussed this morning, the usual strategy in legislation is to pass it and then fix it. There are a few fixes that need to be made in the ordinance to clarify some of the powers and responsibilities of the board. And unfortunately, a lot of that is interlocked with the whatever is going to come out on the standard operating procedure in terms of sort of allowable information transfer. So that's on hold too, but I think this month we could we could definitely make some progress. We have spoken with, that is, Inez and Jeff and I have spoken with Mr. Counselor Schnook, and he was very encouraging. He did not have any legal issues with the sort of major types of amendments that we are thinking of proposing. So it's mostly a matter of getting that done, and if there's a lawyer around who could help do that, that'd be great. Anyway, any other questions or comments on the operating procedures or amendments to the ordinance? All right, the next item I wanted to talk about was training, and that's item 7 on your agenda. And as you know, there's a training requirement, an annual training requirement in our ordinance for all members, and a particular training requirement for new members. And in the past, we have done several things. First, we have worked with NACOL, the National Association of Citizen Oversight of Law Enforcement, and they provide rather generic webinars. But some of that is very useful. They provide a lot of documents on the history and basic principles of oversight. This time around, I would like to start with a focus on Charlottesville, because most of what is out in the literature right now is including a lot of what comes from NACOL, is based on large organizations, large municipalities, large police departments, and it's not particularly not right on point for us. And again, in the next month or so, I would like us to pull together a short curriculum of Steveville specific training issues, reviewing the board powers and the procedures, and the board member responsibilities. We don't need to spend nearly as much time on FOIA and open meetings and COI, because we've got 2 lawyers and they know all that stuff. One thing that I would like to very much incorporate into the training course would be a planning component, because I think it's time. We're going to get our by the end of this year, we're going to have all our powers in place, and we need to plan the steps to getting there, and to going forward beyond that, and to develop roles for particular board members in reaching that overall goal. My thought, I'd entertain a lot of suggestions, any suggestions that anyone has for training. One thing that we should be aware of is that the Citizens Police Academy spring session, which is run by Charlottesville Police Department, is starting soon. And you might get, if you sign up to attend that, you probably get partial credit, if not entire total credit, for your training requirement. Jeff attended last year and was very impressed. And once you get in, I attended one of the sessions, and then they're, to the extent that they can, they're very willing to answer questions and follow up and give information and so on. What I thought one way to deal with the training requirements, sort of the basics this year, was the way we did it last year, which was to have an afternoon, a weekend afternoon, say a Saturday afternoon session. And I'd like to hear your thoughts about your availability, for example, the second or third Saturday in April. And depending on the responses, we can then, build up a schedule. But and anyone, as I say, who wants to have any input into planning the training, please get a hold of me, and we can work this out. Anybody have any questions, comments?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
would that include our revisiting the format of future hearings? There's been some discussion about the necessity of a hearing officer, whether we need to tweak that format. I don't know if that comes under training or just comes under, kind of reformulating that. But anyway, I just wanted to get your thoughts about that.
Yeah, for those not.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
No, that's okay. No, that's good. For those not previously acquainted with the details of our operating procedures, Mr. Snook, the ex-mayor, was pretty insistent that the board hearings, fact-finding hearings, be presided over by a hearing examiner, basically someone with a lot of experience in law or in criminal or administrative law, to keep us in line, to make sure that FOIA information doesn't get out, and generally to keep order. My thought is that is, well, what we have found is that's, if you read through that operating procedure, is that it's extraordinarily ponderous. And what something I will be thinking about, and I suspect others of us will be thinking about over the next several months, will be ways of amending that operating procedure to make the hearings a lot easier to hold. If we can get away from having an external hearing examiner, I think that would be a great thing. And sorry, going off on a tangent, but that's yeah, that's there are a lot of balls up in the air, a lot of, as it were, moving parts. So
It also has budgetary implications, Mr. Chair.
yeah, it absolutely does.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the last thing that we kind of slipped into the agenda tonight is traffic stops, professional traffic stop, the Charlottesville Police Department professional traffic stops general order. Last December, we discussed a set of recommendations developed by Inez for revisions and updates to that order. Given that we basically didn't have a quorum in January and February, we were not able to take any action on making that an official recommendation. And the chief of police believes that we need to make it official for it to apply. And so what I would suggest is, given that we have 2 new members, is that we recirculate the general order and the comments that were generated by Inez, and be prepared to make a formal recommendation to the chief at our next meeting. Folks who had their own comments could feed them back to me, and we could then sort of go through them and get a final version ready to go in April. So it's basically if I don't know whether this needs a motion or not.
No,
I, excuse me?
I will recirculate the professional traffic stops general order to everyone for their comments. And then once the individual recommendations are submitted to you, whatever it is you want to submit formally will then require a formal motion.
Okay, very good. I realize Inez, I keep getting my aunt Inez confused. I realize there's nothing, Inez, in the agenda about the management analyst search. Do we want to say anything about that?
Well, we completed phase one in terms of the interview process. The interviews were conducted virtually. We had a pool of 40-something candidates. We dwindled it down to 10. Finally interviewed 5. And I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually want to do a shout out to Lieutenant Jake Vire from the CPD, as well as Roy Fitch from Home to Hope, for their assistance, and of course the two of you, Jeff and Bill, for the assistance in terms of the serving as panelists. And then we are now in the process of notifying the 3 finalists of the upcoming second and final interview. And hopefully I'll be able to obtain someone from that, but no promises.
Okay.
Do we have a date for those final in-persons,
Submitted my request to
Madam Director?
I submitted my recommendations or requests for dates that I had available to HR. If they are available, like I said, they're going to see what date works best for them for us to do the final process.
Okay.
Are we pushing into April with that already? I mean, is that
I
what
don't
it's
know,
looking like?
Actually, no, I actually requested a specific date before the end of this month. It's not 100% guarantee. Remember, again, our HR people are unbelievably busy. They've got a lot going on themselves. So the initial date is for March. However, there is a secondary date of April 5th, if in the event that can't possibly happen. The 4th and the 5th, actually, I gave them as potential dates.
Yeah,
Great.
and this is, it's very important, that Inez now will have a second in command and someone to do data analysis and reports, and to, once we get the ability to do so, for her to focus on oversight issues. And I think this is a very hopeful and good sign.
Yeah, no, I just want to make clear though, there's no guarantee that someone will come from this last 3. So there's a chance, but not 100%. So
Yeah, that's true.
We're hopeful that you won't have to start over, Madam Director.
no, I shan't do that. I have a plan B just in case.
Okay.
All right. So do any board members have any comments or questions for the good of the public before we go to public comments?
I just wanted to see if this was a time for us to choose a date in April for the training, or if that was going to be decided at a later time.
I think what I would propose to do is to send out an email with, two Saturdays, and to see if there are any strong preferences, and then to work around those to the extent that we could.
Okay. And how many hours are we anticipating to spend for those trainings?
Well, I was thinking of like last time, we could have lunch and then go fairly late in the afternoon, 4.5 or 5 hours. It might not be that long because hopefully by then, the new members will have their computer access and we won't have to take a timeout and do that. So, but a good solid, half day of work basically.
Mr. Chair, I just FYI, I'm away the week of April 21st. I could do either of actually I'm leaving on the 19th, but I could do the 6th or the 13th if that works for others. And after that, I wouldn't be available again until the 4th of May. Actually,
Okay,
I'm out 2 Saturdays, the 20th and the 27th.
all right. I'll send out the email with that in mind.
Thank you, sir.
All right, now,
You got one for you, Bill?
oh, yes, certainly.
So, you probably heard me say a couple of times, I really enjoyed that event that we did the one time where we had the gentleman come up and kind of got us all together in a room. I always say, hey, the first 2-3 years we were together, literally, we never were. I mean, we can't be in the same place without it being a public meeting, more than 2 people, but literally we never even, because of COVID, we got started literally when COVID was kicking off. So, but as we have new people, maybe in like 60 days or so, it might be good to, try to see maybe 90 days if it takes longer, if it's not in our budget. But we had a great event where we had a gentleman who came up, and one of the things he's great at is getting people to sort of connect and learn each other. And that would be awesome if we can. I don't know what the budget is or how much money was allocated to that, but I thought that was awesome a couple
No,
years
that
ago.
retreat,
Yeah.
I agree that retreat
Yeah.
was very useful.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll
Agreed.
definitely think about that as well. And I don't think that the actual, go ahead. Sorry.
I can, I know I haven't done a lot lately, but I can take that on as something I can look up, who we went through, what it cost, and maybe bring it back up and see what their availability is, see if it's something that fits for us, financially. But I think that would be good if we have, I know I'm going away here in a few months, but to just get people together. Hey, we're all human. We're not just Zoom people, and so I think that would be a very high quality thing to do. So I can take that on.
Thank you. I
All
appreciate
right,
it.
there we go.
Let's coordinate. Very good. Okay. Now, yeah, any more comments, questions? Now, we have a public comment period. I have no idea whether there's anyone who is actually following us online.
We have someone who just raised their hand. When I unmute you, start with your first and last name and where you live, and I will share my screen to show a timer. You have 3 minutes. Okay.
Oh, Kate.
Hi, can you hear me? I'm on my phone, sitting outside City Space because I thought it was here. I didn't read very well. Anyway, I'm just curious. I understand that the police department is going to present their pilot program to City Council on Monday. And I wondered if you all were going to be speaking or have taken a position on that.
For Flock, you mean?
Yeah, Flock.
We are the board. We've sent comments to the chief. We haven't taken which the bulk, the gist of which is it needs to be handled very carefully with utmost concern for privacy issues and constitutional issues. And we haven't done anything more than that.
Okay, thanks. Are those comments public somewhere?
They are probably foiable.
Okay.
I do not see any reason why I can't share them with you. And if there is, I'll let you know.
Okay, thanks. You have my email address, I'm sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's all I had.
Thank you, Kate. There anyone else online?
There is, they do not have their hand raised. It was just Kate.
Okay. All right. In that case, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Well moved.
Man, that was
Hearing
such
is
a
there
long
any-
meeting. It was such a long meeting.
Well,
used
when
to
we actually get to do oversight, I suspect
Yeah.
it will be much longer. That is certainly the plan. Is there any objection to adjournment?
Nope.
Hearing no objection, the meeting is adjourned.
All
Thank
right.
you all.
Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.